Hey everybody, I'm Jordana, and
Hey,
this is
Calliope Willow and Trip to
and
Venus.
Trip to Venus. We're
Yeah,
gonna be talking
yeah.
about Venus today. For us right now, it's
Yes,
Thursday, so tomorrow is Friday, which is associated with Venus. So it is referred to as Venus Day.
yes. And so we figured since we are going to be like talking a lot about astrology, we want to give you guys some basic information so that you're able to keep up with some of the topics. And whenever you do find this, you can always go back and, dive in. So today we are going to get into Venus since, the podcast is called A Trip to Venus. It's only right that that's the first planet we give you some information on. So when we are talking about planet Venus, we are talking about the arts, music, painting, acting, um, anything that falls under the artistic category. We're talking about sensuality. We're talking about values. We're talking about
Self-expression.
self expression. Yes, self worth, self love, and self acceptance as well. How you give and how you receive love, all of those things can be found under your Venus placement in your natal chart. And that natal chart is going to be kind of like a compass of the sky when you were born. So it'll tell you how you give and receive love, and many, many other things to fall under the Venusian category.
How you show up in your relationships, how you love people, and how you want people to love you. And the relationships, the dynamics between your interpersonal relationships, even when it comes to your siblings, your family, your loved ones in any capacity. It's all about love and your capacity for love and showing that and how it shows up in every aspect of your life.
Also, when we talk about Venus too, so for those of you who are already aware of your Venus placement, um, you can even start dressing and start associating yourself with the things of your Venus sign. So, for instance, if your Venus is in Pisces, let's go with that since it's Pisces season. Um, you want to wear colors that are close to Pisces. So the blues and the purples and the mystical colors and like fabrics that are soft and fluffy, things that are flowy. All those things kind of give me a Venus and Pisces vibes.
Like
So dressing
flow,
for your
water,
Venus, mm-hmm. Dressing.
information, but in a ethereal type of way where you're connected to like the spiritual realm and all the things that are unseen.
Venus also rules fashion too.
Think about
So
like
that's another one.
Rihanna. Rihanna's a Pisces.
Yes. But she's Venus in Aries.
Oh,
So
she
that's where we get, yeah,
she's
that's where we
fiery,
get a lot
fiery
of
water.
her edginess, that edge that we see comes out there.
And in her
Um,
music, she's passionate and emotional, but in like a free, almost like chaotic type of way.
and
So,
fun,
mhm,
very fun.
very fun.
So speaking of that, there's that song. I don't even know what it's called, but it's like that one song. Yeah, you think I'm crazy. So I always thought she was like, well, that's not fair. She said, well, that's
That's not
nothing.
fair.
That's not what she said. She said, well, that's nothing. Like, wait till this is nothing.
Wait
So
till you
yeah,
see for real.
very Piscean,
I really think of like
Venusian
Piscean,
energy.
especially like the women as like, I want to say like dark femme, but like the more divine feminine role of like how women are allowed to just be in their own, just to
Free,
be. Yeah, just to
just
be.
exist.
Hmm.
Hmm. That
So it
makes
is
sense.
fun.
I don't have any Pisces in my chart, but I was raised by a Pisces woman, and my grandmother's also a Pisces. So I feel
Yeah, I don't
like
have
I
Pisces in
just
my chart
inherited.
either.
Yeah, I don't have that. So
I was
it's
thinking about
interesting.
that too. I was like, but at least your mom is a Pisces, so you have a little bit of a frame of reference growing up, seeing how a Pisces woman was, even if, like, because,
Yeah.
our parents probably didn't do a lot of self work. growing up because it wasn't that generation that was doing
Yeah, they didn't
that.
know about it.
So you got to see both ends as she's becoming an older woman and getting more into her like divine femininity, and you get to see like both ends of the spectrum, like in your own parent, which is really dope because that's the person that raised you and like shaped who you are as a woman.
Yes. I've learned a lot from watching her in her day-to-day moves, just how she would interact with people, how she would always get what she wanted. She
Like,
wanted.
dang,
That's not surprising, Mom.
never wanted for nothing. Always made it happen.
Receiving Venus. So it all ties in, you know. Also, another Venusian, excuse me, another Venusian theme is going to be skincare.
Yeah, youthful.
Heavy on the skincare. Yes, youthful skincare, self-preservation of the body and the skin. That's another heavy Venusian theme. So a lot of people who
Self-care.
have Taurus placements or Libra placements as well. A good hobby for you to try would be like making some kind of skincare or even hair care too.
Oh yeah. Well, I know like we both have Taurus moons, which is a Venusian placement, which is kind of how we got here. But like you make your own oils, I make body butters, like we make stuff that makes us feel good and like things that are,
Mm-hmm.
add to our self-care because it's something that like we're interested in, we can share, and that's our own self-expression, even like in the smallest Venusian type of ways. Like it's a way to tap in and kind of like hone in on some of those qualities that we all have.
Or sharing our arts with the community. Community is also a Venusian theme too. And that kind of falls into Aquarius. So right now, since Venus is actually in Aquarius, so right now, expect to see a lot of themes. I know I said this last video too, but expect to see a lot of themes around communities, especially we have Venus there, we have Pluto there, we've got Mars there. So
There's a lot.
Heavy energy surrounding the community. And what can you give to your community?
Yeah.
That may be something that comes up for a lot of people. Is like, how am I showing up and giving back to my community?
How can I add? How can I express myself through my community? How can I add to my community? How can I be of service, acts of service, and bring that divine feminine role within your own neighborhoods? I really want to start like an herb garden for reals. And like get a whole bunch of herbs and like go to the farmer's market and like see if we can get some cracking.
Yeah. See what
Along
we can
with,
do. Because like, it's nice to have them at the herb shops and everything, but to have them accessible of our own, like we grew them with our own intentions,
yeah.
our own alchemy.
And it's so easy,
Yeah.
like we've just been programmed to want to have like convenience and somebody else do it when we can do a lot of this stuff on our own and like cultivate these partnerships, relationships with our communities through things that we grow and do on our own and want to share with other people.
Yep.
Which is also very Venusian. So it's right along par with, like how you feel during certain parts of, the lunar cycles, and like how Venus is in Aquarius right now and how long is it gonna stay in Aquarius? For like a month?
Until about March, I want to say March 10th-ish, I believe.
So like a total of like almost 3
Yeah.
months altogether. It gives us time to like set a foundation for trying new things and reaching out to our communities.
Yeah. We definitely can. We can do some work. Abundance. How can we be abundant to our community? Another thing that we could probably, it's going to be really interesting. Another thing to like kind of look out for is like that balancing between opposites, and specifically genders or men. And I don't even want to get into all that, but
Right, that's gonna be a
you ain't
whole
gonna get me. You ain't gonna get me. But all of that, yeah, because we have Mars, which is the masculine energy, and then we have Venus, which is the feminine energy, and they're close together right now. So we're gonna see some balancing happening. We're gonna see some things shifting.
some integration. For
Yeah,
people
and
that have
that
been living in their masculine, it's going to be integration of your feminine energy and the vice versa. Where if you've been super
really
feminine
cool.
and you need to start having a little bit of a survival tactics, or like setting yourself up for you know something that you've been wanting to do, like structurally wise, or like setting goals for yourself. Maybe if you've been a little bit lackadaisical with some of your goals, like set some goals and like keep those goals and make it happen. Well, the energy is there for you to have the energy to do it. Sometimes we get kind of lazy, or like we're comfortable, but we could be doing a lot more, and this is the season for it. Starting to plant seeds for springtime.
And that's also a Venusian theme, like comfort, relaxing,
Yep.
settling into, your skin, being in your skin. But sometimes you got to step outside of it, see what else you can transform into. So what tonics did you want to share?
Well, it was more like you could like make tonics out of different herbs. You know how like we make tea, or like I'll add like blue lotus to it or something like that. So that's actually one of them that was on the list that caught my eye too. Because I'm like, I already been using like blue lotus, so that's one that was on there.
That's very
Bergamot,
Piscean too.
yes, because the blue lotus, water, blue, and like it helps with your dreams and astral travel, which is also like a Piscean thing.
Piscean theme, 12th housey, Neptune. Yeah.
It comes like, well, Venus, aphrodisiacs. So aphrodisiac herbs and spirit herbs, Albizia, Damiana. I know we're familiar with that one because we put that in our smoke blends.
Yes.
Caduaba, Kava Kava, catnip, Kuna, Mirapuama, and then also reproductive herbs. So if you're looking for some boost in your fertility, black cohosh, cramp bark, lady's mantle, roses, rose hips, red raspberry leaf, hibiscus, mugwort, and shitafari. So there's a lot going on. If like say your cycle and you're in one of these seasons, or you're about to be ovulating, and Venus is one of the energies that's super strong. Like you could use herbs to really enhance your reproductive system or your fertility if you're trying to get pregnant or birth something. Even it doesn't even have to be the birth of a child. It could just be
the birth of you.
Yes, or something that you've been wanting to manifest, and you use these things in your daily life and add to your manifestations using the elements from the earth. Things that we use, some things that we have here that are tools for us to use.
Can definitely be the birth of you. Like there's something in this book here. Let me it's interesting that you said that, because let me show the book so in case anyone wants to snag it. It's a really good one. Tons of really good information.
The Herbal Alchemist Handbook. Oh yes. Making
really
magic.
A very, very good book. Okay, let me see. Venus rules over the metamorphosis of the cells and the reproduction and enrichment and transformation of the cells, the preservation of the body and the complexion, the reproductive system, and the harmony between all of the systems of the body.
Talk to yourselves. Talk to yourselves. Talk nice to yourself.
You can literally take a bath using Venusian herbs, program your water by speaking to it, and probably do that for a while and heal.
Yeah.
I bet you could heal some stuff doing this.
Absolutely. If it's
that's very interesting.
If it's your cells reproducing itself and that's ruling over your cells, really you just got to use the tools and talk life into yourself. Literally talk life into your cells and let them regenerate to what you're programmed to do.
Big yourself up.
As far as foods go, all these nice fruits, apples, blackberries, cacao, currants, gooseberries, maca. That's a good one. Pear, peaches, raspberries, strawberries, watermelon. You know what's funny is I had seen this honey pack at the smoke shop, and I was like, let me see what these are made out of. And it had like maca and ginseng in it, and I was like, yeah,
okay.
yeah,
you probably would do it.
That'll do
I'm
it.
sure it would do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
I saw the maca and the ginseng. I was like, okay, yep. And then there's like a couple
Hmm.
other active ingredients with the honey, but like I was all,
And
yeah,
honey
that's
too.
better
I feel like honey is itself can be,
itself. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it can
Honey by
do some
itself.
things.
But add all the other stuff too. Oh, shoot.
Yeah. I see why people is going crazy
Yep.
with the honey packs. Okay.
Okay.
I have a lot of different herbs. So I picked this one today. It's a Venus herb. It's called colt's foot.
Ooh, let me see this.
And try to open
What does
it
it
up
look
and
like?
like
Let me see. It's not on my list on here.
here we go. Eh,
It kind of looks
It's very
like
fluffy, a little bit like mugwort. It's really
yeah.
fluffy. It smells very earthy. It has like a sweeter taste when it's brewed in like tea. And this is a medicinal herb. It's used really good for medicinal purposes. You can use it for cough, sore throat, respiratory issues. It can be used in a bath or like a lotion or cream for your skin diseases, dandruff even. So like it could be a nice hair rinse,
Oil. Yeah, like you could put it
an
like in
oil.
oil.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking too. Like topically, like you would make it into like a paste or like a salve or something
Yeah,
like use it
a
that way too.
nice salve or an oil or even I guess you can extract it.
Yeah.
I guess you could do that too. You could.
I always think
As far as go ahead.
I was gonna say like I always think like how before Western medicine took over, but like they used to, make like a paste out of the herbs and then like put a leaf over it and like let it sit and
And
like
just
do
let it
its thing.
sit.
And like, overnight it would be
It'd
100%
be
healed
better.
because yeah, exactly, because they slept and they let their body do its thing with the herbs that were used for them. So getting back to more of that would be awesome. I feel like we kind of like got to this point where we don't use herbs. We just depend on like a synthesized
The
version of it.
medicines. That's it. The real
And
medicines we've strayed so far from. But
yeah,
I
and they use
think we're gonna
different
be getting
things.
back to it. That's why we're here.
Yep.
That's why
We're
we're
about to
here.
share a little bit more every week.
And this herb also, like for my girlies who like to get into their rituals, you can use this is good for love rituals, of course, because it's a Venus. It's also good for drawing in new love. You can be burning this during your divination. So let's say you're doing some divination about love. This is a good herb to have burning while you are doing that because it helps, open up that heart chakra and be able to receive those messages that you're trying to get. It's also a good money herb, Venus. So yeah,
So when I
definitely gonna
first
bring some
started
bread.
diving into a little bit of like divination and stuff like that, as I was kind of like learning more, and I did not understand like what that means by burning the herbs. And I was like, you just like light it on fire? Like what do you like what do you do, And then I was like, oh, like if you're using candle magic, you dress the candle, and stuff
You
like
can
that. You
dress
put the herbs in the
it.
candle. Yeah. So I was like, for so long, I was like, what are they talking about?
How do you do it?
So different ways
They
that you
also
can use
have
the herbs.
the coal, like some you can probably get it at like the smoke shop. They have
Mhm.
like the coal pieces and you can sprinkle the herb on top of
On the
that
coal and burn the coal that way.
and it burns that way and gives you
Okay.
a nice smoke. And then also too, you can always drink this. It's great.
Make your own
Great,
tea.
great. Yeah, make some tea and drink it and program it because it's liquid, it's water, and it's gonna hold the messages anyway. So it's like you're getting that double dose, okay?
Do the double dose. So what do you think about like smokable herbs? Is that something that you could add to a smoke blend, or do you think it's better before it gets burned? Because like some things, like when you heat it up, it changes the chemical compound of it, it changes the medicinal like value of it, or something like that, where it's like you don't get the full use of the herb or the plant
Full,
once you've like heated
yeah.
it up.
So with this herb, I probably would just stick with drinking this as a tea or using it as in a salve
Mhm.
or something like that in a
Making a
tonic.
paste, doing something
Yeah,
topical.
something like that. That's what I would do with this. I wouldn't smoke it. There are some smokable Venus herbs like
Like the hot ones.
Danyana and Rose is smokable. Mugwort is even
Yeah,
smokable. So there are some other ones that are more common and popular for smoking.
smoke blends.
Definitely, there's some
Yeah.
smoke blends. I've made a few Venusian smoke blends, and they definitely hit.
I
They're
know. I think
beautiful.
you had one like a couple years ago that you made, and it had the Damiana, the rose, and it had some
Hmm.
calendula, which was really awesome. I really like that
Yes,
aspect of it. And what else did you have in it?
probably a
I
little
think
bit
there
of
was mugwort too.
catnip.
Yeah, and the catnip.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good one.
a
You
little
have to come back
catnip
with
in
some of
there.
those.
Yeah, we'll have to revamp and bring some stuff back because
Some kitchen
the
witchery. It's due time.
yeah, get in there, get back in the kitchen. Yeah,
Yes. Now we got our black cats. They can be in the they can be in the kitchen
I
with us helping.
know our babies. So yeah, man. That's Venus, guys. There's a lot. There's so much
That's
more too, but it's like I feel like we barely scratched the surface. But
I know there's so much to
we'll
talk
be
about when it
bringing it.
comes to Venus
There's so
because
much to talk about.
like what is it? What does Venus rule over? Is it the throat? Because Taurus is also ruled by Venus, and Venus rules the throat as well, like with Taurus. So I was
Hmm.
reading that too. Like that's one of the things
Purse.
where I got like my tattoo placement because I was like, I want to get where like my Taurus moon is. I want it to be in the spot where it rules on my body. So it coincides with, my own biology and that energy that sits in those energy centers there. So like Venus, because is rules Taurus, then it would be like your throat or like your neck,
Yes, your
throat
throat, your
chakra,
neck. Um,
expression, your voice.
yes, your voice for sure. I actually can read a few things out of my rulership book.
Yes.
We'll pull
Oh yeah, you
some,
did say that you had that too. That's perfect.
yeah,
I was
we'll
like,
pull
oh yes.
some little random ones out of here. Artichokes. That's super random. And you know what? I have to say, we
Artichoke.
love artichoke dip over here.
Isn't that so funny?
That
That's
is
another thing that we
funny.
do. We have like little spots where we're like, no, we like the artichoke dip there. We're gonna go there and just
Yeah,
have
we're
the
gonna go
artichoke
there.
dip.
Just have that. We're just coming for this. Like I've already ordered one. With there's two coming right
Right.
now.
Porcelain shit all day.
Okay. So that's an interesting one that I've never heard of. Let's see. Alimony.
Mm. Like, love and
uh,
alimony.
oh, brass.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's a
Royal.
good one. That's a good one. Carbs.
Carbs.
Yes, carbohydrates.
Okay.
Yes, I think that's awesome because it's like carbs is bread, and bread is like associated with comfort foods,
Comfort
and
food.
Venus is
Yep.
comforting, and
That's
so
so
yeah,
I need my
that all
bread.
makes sense. That all makes sense. Oh, ballet. I can see that. Ballet is very appealing to the artistic side, and
Yeah.
it's sensual, and it's
Feminine.
very soft, and yeah, the colors. So yeah, that makes sense. Chins.
Huh. I never heard that one either.
That one is different. That one's quirky. Okay, cool.
Chins.
Let's see. I'll do a couple more.
Here's some I found. Venus in the body. Venus rules over the metamorphosis of the cells, which goes along with what you were saying as well. The reproduction
Hmm.
and enrichment and transformation of cells, the preservation of the body, the complexion, the reproductive system, and the harmony between all the systems of the body. It's also said to rule all functions of the throat. Venus is assigned as the rule of Taurus. True Venus association with Libra, it is said to rule the kidneys. As a planet, which is usually indicative of aesthetic values, Venus is correspondent with the skin and hair. Modern medical astrology has also incorporated the thyroid, parathyroid, and thymus and rules the reproductive system. Fertility or infertility correlates to the urinary system and its connection to the kidneys. Venus within our lives can also dictate how and if we are able to receive from others and from life in general. Venus is
Yes.
like the midwife to our happiness. How are we able to accept the deepest pleasure in our life and access our natural state of joyfulness? This is pretty good. And the energetics. By nature, the herbs of Venus are feminine, gentle, relaxing, and balancing. The actions of tonics in itself is Venusian, as this category of herbs are the ones that balance all major organ systems and assist our body in accessing harmony. And most of these herbs tend to be neutral, as they can be both warming and cooling. And
Yeah.
Venusian herbs work with energies of attraction. That's so Venusian. I didn't even know, like, you didn't even realize the attraction aspect of it. But
Yes.
these herbs have been used in ritual by different traditions, as they are said to be the agents that fuel the dream into manifestation. And although each herb has its way of yielding its power, they have the common thread that they are known to assist in materializing what we love. And then it goes into the herbs and like the aphrodisiacs and the heart cardio tonics, superfoods. Visionary, that's the blue lotus, helps us manifest our dreams and the things that we love. That was good. That came from an
That's
article
good.
on Anima Mundi Apothecary. That was dope. Had a lot of good information on that one.
So yes.
It's a lot
Books.
with our bodies. Like Venus is like our
The
bodies,
body.
really. Like I feel
The
like it's
body.
almost like our body in a whole. Like it goes into like our kidneys and our throat and our heart and like I was like, dang. And then our cells and our reproductive system, like that's a lot right there. That's a lot of
It's
responsibility that
deep.
Venus has. Yeah. I
Venus.
guess that's
Oof.
one half of our feminine, masculine, yin and yang balance. So I wonder when we look
Balancing
into
those
like
different
Mars,
energies.
if it's gonna be all the opposite of Venus. You know what I mean?
It's
So when
gonna
we
be a
get to
wild
Mars and
ride.
Aries season,
It's gonna be a wild ride. It's gonna be very interesting few weeks coming up.
oh
That's
yeah,
for sure. Especially
I like
for the
Pisces
fixed
season.
signs, which is Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio. So buckle up.
Buckle up. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing a lot of too. Is like it
Yeah.
might get a little uncomfortable before it gets stable again. Taurus. I'm like,
Mm.
no, I
That's
don't
all I
wanna.
want
I
to
don't
hear.
like change.
Right. But it's okay because whenever that's the thing about Venus, it's like Venus is going to always have our back because we do have that Venus moon. We can always count on it to have our back. So if it's
Yep.
taking something away,
It's
it's getting
balancing
it's
that out.
transforming us. It our cells are talking,
Yep.
they're restoring.
It's trying to come on, switch it up.
Yeah.
Switching it
Let's
up.
do it big. Let's move it doing. Yeah. I see it.
Oh
That's
yeah.
okay. I'm ready
It's
for it.
exciting. It's exciting for sure.
Yeah. It's an interesting transit. So yeah, that's Venus and a few
Today was our
things
our
that's
own trip
about
to Venus today. And
right.
transfer our energy to Venus for a little bit. But yeah, that was
And
a
it
lot of
was cool.
information I didn't know either.
So yes, this is probably going to be a note-taking one. And that's okay because we want to give you guys the information so that when we do get deeper into conversation, we're not like bombarding you with things and you're lost because
Yeah.
it's going to get deep.
Oh, do you want to do a Venus Day card reading?
Um,
I have a card. I can do like my Osho deck and just pull like one card for
okay.
Venus. I'll
Let's
get
do
it
that.
one second.
I have a deck in here.
So this is what this looks like. It's the Osho Zen Tarot. And let me shuffle a couple cards and see what we got for Venus Day. Collective message for Friday, Venus Day, and Pisces season. What is the collective here? All right. All right. I pulled the Master card. Let me see where my
Ooh.
one right there. So see what that looks like. It looks like almost like a magician or a shaman.
Dumbledore.
Yeah, there we go. Dumbledore. See what it says here. Ooh.
The Master. Okay, okay.
Oh, I'm looking for it. There's a whole message in this book. I'm just looking for it here.
The Master.
Did you find it?
No, I don't have that deck, but
You
I'm letting it download. I'm kind of seeing how that ties in to Venus and how that message can resonate. Okay.
All right. So it comes from the Major Arcana deck of this one. It says, beyond mind, there is an awareness that is intrinsic, that is not given to you by the outside and is not an idea. And there is no experiment up to now that has found any center in the brain which corresponds to awareness. The whole work of meditation is to make you aware of all that is mind and decentrify yourself from it. That very separation is the greatest revolution that can happen to man. Now you can do and act on only that which makes you more joyous, fulfills you, and gives you contentment, makes your life a work of art, a beauty. But this is possible only if you master in you is awake. Only if the master in you is awake. Right now, the master is fast asleep, and the mind, the servant, is playing the role of master. And the servant is not even your servant. The servant is created by the outside world. It follows the outside world and its laws. Once your awareness becomes a flame, it burns up the whole slavery that mind has created. There is no blissfulness more precious than freedom, than being the master of your own destiny. Man, that was saying a lot. But what it says to me is that in this season, you really have to find yourself and know that you are the master of your universe, and you're here to create this universe that brings you joy and fulfillment and contentment in your life.
Talk to yourselves.
Talk to yourselves. Be the programmer. You are the programmer. So
talk to
write a program for yourself.
I will pull from this beautiful deck I purchased. This is a new one. I don't use it very often, but it's really cool. I love it.
I like that. The Realist Oracle. That's cool.
Finding the mundane, finding the magic in the mundane. So yeah.
I already like the artwork.
The artwork is dope. It is super dope. Let's get a collective message. A timeless collective message, spirit. Comparison.
Comparison is a thief of joy.
Comparison is a thief of joy. Focus on you. You know, if you want to be in comparison mode, be in comparison mode with the you from yesterday, with the you from last month, with the you from the beginning of 2024 when you said you was going to do X, Y, and Z. Be in comparison mode with that you. And then I want to look at those angel numbers. Look at those likes. Those are likes, actually. But it's definitely an angel number, too. Yeah. Somebody is almost on the brink of completion, and they are so stuck in comparison mode that they can't even see how close they are to the finish line. Yeah, they don't even see it. They don't see how far they've come. They don't see how much they've grown. They don't see just how close they are to that 10. They are really, really close. Really, really close. So this is for someone special. That was for someone in particular. That was for someone in particular. I don't know who that's for.
But, keep going. You're almost at 1 million. You're right there.
You're there. You're so close. You're so close. But don't allow outside forces to steal away your joy and make you feel like you haven't done the work, because you have.
And it's a lot of work. Give yourself some grace, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's never ending. Never ending.
That's beautiful. Number 34. So yeah.
What's the 34 stand for? Let's see what the angel number is on that.
What is angel number 34? I also want to read the book too, because this is a deck that is new
Has a
to me. Yeah, it's new to me, and I definitely feel like there's a message there.
Angel number 34 is a sign of new beginnings, balance, and abundance. Your guardian angels, or God, or the universe, or whichever higher power you believe in, are showing you 34 as a reminder that with hard work and creativity, you can forge a positive future for yourself. Why is that so fitting? It's like perfect. There you go. Alignments. Tap right in with Venus.
Okay. Oh. Okay, so let me. Ooh, this card is a fire card. The element is fire and air. Comparison card. I'm going to read from the pretty little book here. Right. We are all on our own journeys. We can try on someone else's skin. And look how we've been talking about cells and skin. And
I know.
Okay, we can try on someone else's skin as much as we want, but we end up having to be smaller in order to fit in it. This card shows up when you are exactly where you need to be, and yet you feel like you don't measure up to the image, the expectation, or public perception of another. What you value, Venus, and others you possess. Consider what envy and comparison are trying to teach you about your own desires and why you won't let yourself have them. That's another Venus theme too, is envy. People with heavy Venusian energy may experience that throughout their lifetime. That they run into a lot of themes around envy. People, whether it be them being envious of others or others being extremely envious of them. So, yeah.
For them evil eyes.
Mm-hmm. Somebody needs to soak in some Venusian herbs and love on themselves and accept where they are right now.
And I think that that's a good place for us to wrap it up for today. And man, that was a lot of information. So I'm excited for next week to see what we got going on after the full moon.
We're doing next. Yes.
As always,
well, thanks, guys.
It's been real. Peace out, y'all.